Yeah, so that's intention, right? Like I'm going to buy new workout clothes, right? Because I want to use these clothes to work out. So it starts with that part. Then it's like, okay, it's time for me to work out. Let me, take a shower, put on my workout clothes, boom, do my workout, and then all right, now it's a matter of mindset and like you said, like a change in your lifestyle. Um, because we have to create new habits. You know what I'm saying? Those are they're gonna be hard to do because there's gonna be days you're just gonna be looking at the workout clothes like I don't even want to do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
But after you do it, you feel so much better, and that's what we're banking on. We're trying to hook you in with how you feel after you work out and all the natural endorphins that come from it. I get this all the time, man.
This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome to the About That Water podcast show, where we help you build strong financial habits. I have the honor to bring on Stephan Fouche, who is the owner of the NLS Athletic, and he is actually a fitness coach who is really helping you take yourself to the next level. And the cool thing I love about fitness and finance, they both start with F, but they also require those habits that you need to get through that process. So how you doing today, Stephan?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
All right. So what got you into fitness?
Well, it kind of started when I was younger. We started with playing sports and whatnot. But when I got to high school and college, we had to do like off-season workouts. So I was always kind of like the leader of those workout groups, and it just kind of grew into a habit, a hobby, and into a passion.
Nice. Because I was looking at your background a little bit, and it looked like taking it back to the financial side of the house, which is you said that when you were 19, you were trying to get a car, but you didn't talk to your dad first.
Right. So I tried to go get a car, and it was interesting because it was like, I was like, okay, let me go check it out, talk to the people. We're pretty self-sufficient at that point. And I had $2,000 in my pocket. I was like, okay, cool. I can just pay for this. And we're cool. And they were like, I saw a car that was like $4,000, and they were like, man, you'll have to. We can't finance it for you. It's a used car, so you would have to have the $4,000. I was under the impression that I had $2,000, give them the money, and then just pay on it. But that's me just not knowing how things go as far as used cars are concerned. So I ended up having to go home and talk to my father about it. And my father was like, oh, I can just give you the extra $2,000. But it's so interesting, just kind of how it was brought up. I was just like, well, no, I'll just wait till I get it myself, And, he had an issue with that because he's just like, okay, you know what, I know what you're trying to do, but you got to allow people to help you sometimes and then kind of walk you through it as opposed to just, trying to hit your head against the wall every time and then learning that way.
So with that being your own personal story in the sense of finance, now that you're getting to the point of fitness, how does that relate?
Well, it's all about what you want to, invest your money in. We've always find money to spend on other things that may be kind of appealing at the moment, but we don't necessarily think about our physical health and what you may have to pay on the back end if you don't do those things. So I think it's just important to kind of to make sure that you are, kind of setting up your finances through priority. You know what I mean? And I think physical fitness, because we're always helping out other people and doing other things, we kind of forget about ourselves. And people don't realize that it's kind of an investment in yourself. Even making the decision to go to a gym, paying $29 a month or $10 a month, and then just going to the gym. Like people sometimes they invest too little into it, where it's just enough money not to go. And sometimes, and other times, they're just too bogged down with certain bills to feel like that they can't invest in their fitness. But that's not really the case if you break it down.
Yeah, because I was thinking of from the coaching aspect of when to know that you actually need a coach versus they can follow one of your YouTube videos.
Right, right. Yeah, like there's if I always feel like if you're someone who's willing to look at a YouTube video or an Instagram video and then just trying to copy that and go and doing that, you already have the mindset that you're willing to work out on your own, right? You're just trying to figure out what to do and how to do it, and then you go. But sometimes when it comes to investing into a trainer or a fitness coach, it's somebody that's going to push you. Therefore, you understanding that your limitations on your discipline, and you're investing in someone else to push you through those thresholds. So oftentimes it's a disposable, it's a luxury, but people view it as a luxury, but it should be an essential.
Because a lot of people could be out there just trying to lose some weight and just trying to figure out the discipline. Because right now, I think by the time this release, it should be around the springtime. People getting out there, getting in their like bathing suits and their trunks or whatever, and they want to take off their shirts. And sometimes they don't feel comfortable.
Right.
And I believe having that moment of reaching out to a coach, such as yourself, what would be those good questions to find a coach that will fit their lifestyle?
Well, when I do an assessment, when I talk to my potential clients, we always try to figure out the best game plan according to your lifestyle. So if it's your work schedule, if you have kids or you got to take them to certain places, whatever the case may be, we try to figure out your schedule first. So that's the first thing we talk about. And then we try to find those increments of time that we can invest into ourselves as far as fitness is concerned. I don't care if it's 20 minutes or if you do have like an hour, as long as we're doing something consistently. And then eventually you kind of maneuver your schedule around your fitness because you start to understand the benefits and how it makes you feel. So we just try to plug and play. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if you got 15 minutes every 3 or 4 hours, let's do a little something there. But we try to make sure it's something that's attainable, which will lead to being more frequent and consistent.
Got it. Because it seems like you're just helping out the building blocks of building the habit. So yeah. What would be the good questions to ask a fitness person? Well, like a fitness coach. Like if I'm walking into a gym, I'm looking for a fitness coach. What questions should I ask them?
Well, you should ask like, what exercises that should I do to get to my goals? If it's losing weight or building muscle, just be specific in those questions and be like, be confident in your goals, right? Like if I want to lose 50 pounds, be like, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds. What should I do and how should I go about it? Just a direct question. That direct question alone will lead to the fitness instructor kind of asking you a series of questions, and then now we're having a conversation. I think it's just really simple. It's just being very confident in what your goals are, and being able to just ask that with being assertive in that. Because oftentimes I talk to people and they're like, well, I'm thinking I may want to lose 100 pounds, but I don't know if it's just how they deliver it. When they're delivering that question, they're already kind of creating self-doubt.
So how do they build that confidence though?
Well, I think, what I do is I kind of maneuver through that question and then just be straightforward. Like, hey, so what is your goal? And just tell me your goal, say it loudly, be bold about it, because that's what I'm here to do, is help you get to that goal. Mm-hmm. And then let me be the person that dictates at what time and space that this can happen in. You know what I mean? Like, don't put that much pressure on yourself. So the only way you can really build that confidence is just going to a specialist and just doing the work, doing what they're saying. And if you have a good one, it obviously would be in increments, in moderation. We try to build the confidence.
Gotcha. So should somebody work on their food first when they talk about like getting into losing that weight?
Well, I personally feel like it needs to be exercise first. Okay. Because if food is important, of course it is, but we want to get into the habits and then allowing everything to kind of supplement each other. So if you get into a habit of you getting up and going to the gym every day. All right, now we're creating that habit. Okay, now it's like, okay, how about my diet? All right, now you've already done that. Now we're going to talk about the diet. So for me, I do that like I would say in the first 2 weeks, just focus on, obviously I'm going to ask you questions about your diet, but I just want you to get in the habit of going to the gym, because going to the gym is the great equalizer. You know what I mean? Even though you can't, outrun a bad diet, but
Right.
you can get into the habit of being active. And then we bring in the diet aspect of it. And then we start to understand macros, because oftentimes it becomes overwhelming to somebody who grew up, pretty much going to the corner store to get, honey buns for breakfast every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
And
mean,
holding.
that's what, that's how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? So, you go and you're like, okay, it's time for school. Okay, give me, let me get some juice and a honey bun. And then now I got that sugar high, and I'm thinking, okay, this is how things are supposed to be done. We have to relearn everything. And the diet is one of the hardest things to kind of reteach, because people already come with the notion of all these different diets that they need to be on, or but not understanding how we make foods kind of work for ourselves in our activity. There's certain things you can eat if you use it as an energy source, as opposed to using it as a source of comfort.
Yeah. So speaking of those diets, those advertised diets. So you hear about these keto diets. You hear about what do you call it? It was one that was really big back in the day with the meat diet.
It was like the Atkins diet.
Yeah, the Atkins diet. I thought that joint was hilarious, but yeah. What are your thoughts on those particular diets?
So those diets, first of all, any type of like fad diet, something that's just cool at the point, it's not. It's a complete lifestyle change. So you would actually, for it to actually work, if you do keto, you're gonna have to just do keto. Like that has to be you're gonna have to basically commit to that type of diet, because once you decide to get off keto and get all those carbs back in your system and all those sugars, now they're going to be searching for somewhere to go, and it's usually going to probably store as fat, and then you're going to gain all that weight back. I'm a more of a flexible diet person, understanding what each of your carbs, your fats, and your proteins, what they actually do for your body, and then you learn that way, as opposed to, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and do that. Because all those diets work, but until and then when you get off it, your body's going to be like, oh man, what is this? Oh, I finally got my fats back. Oh, I finally got my carbs back. Okay, well, this is what we're going to, your body adjusts to those type of things. So it's like the lemonade diet, right? Like when Beyonce was doing I think it was Showgirls, and it was like, okay, this is what the diet that I'm going to, and people were doing it. Like this was a thing. And you're losing all this weight at a certain time, but as soon as you're done, as soon as you eat the first piece of bread, it's kind of like, boom, everything absorbs, and you're back to like where you're at, man. So I think when it comes to fad diets, or like the newest thing, I'm not a big believer in that. It's all about understanding what and when to eat.
Because one of the things that got me into, I won't say it wasn't like a fad diet, but I almost had to change my whole lifestyle of eating, was watching a documentary called Fat, Sick, or Nearly Dead. Mm-hmm. And because of that, it showed me the process of like, all right, my body takes a lot of energy to digest this food. Let me switch to the liquid side of the house. But I was like, let me do that. I tried it for a week. It was okay, but the juice didn't work out well because I had to travel for work and all that fun stuff. So I switched to just bringing a blender to work. As loud as that thing was, I'll be in the lunchroom. They was like, oh, there go Anthony again, making his smoothies. But it worked out for me. And then now to the point, I only eat meat like once a week.
Right.
So, and then because of that, I've lost at least about like 40 pounds, and I kept it off ever since then. But it's like you said, it's a lifestyle change for me. And so for those people that are going through that transformation that I saw in your page that have made that transformation, what was it something that everybody that's listening right now can do to kind of get them in that rhythm to get going? Like maybe like the top 3 things.
Well, the top 3 things that I would focus on. So I would go with. I'll go with each spectrum. Number one is finding your time to be physically active.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just getting up and moving around for, like I said, I don't care if it's 10 minutes, but get in the habit of moving around. Secondly, your number 2, I would say in your diet, and what I tell my clientele is to, with every meal, eat one raw food. So if it's an apple, cool. If it's a vegetable that you eat raw, cool. Whatever the case may be. But with your meals, get in the habit of doing that. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you may eat one raw meal per day, which is a salad or something, whatever the case may be. We want to get, because we're so used to eating processed foods, especially like even in the morning, it's just sitting there. It's not, there's no nutritional value. So at least you want to have something that's going to digest and at least give some type of nutritional value. And then the third thing is first of all, you want to make sure you get enough sleep, right? It's very important to get enough rest and to not be stressed to the point where cortisol levels rise, and then whatever foods you eat naturally stores fat. So you want to kind of, I don't know, everybody has their own stresses, but we want to try to alleviate as many stresses around us as possible. So that's like a life check, a self check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those to me are the top 3 things that you should do. So 1, I would say just focus on being active. 2, one raw food per meal, like whatever, it could be fruits or whatever as a dessert. And then kind of cut out as many stresses. And that's one of the big ones. Like, people need to look at themselves and understand that what they're giving to people or what they're allowing people to do to them, or not, stressing about work. And, one of my main things was not being able to get enough rest, because my mind was constantly going, because I was always thinking about the next thing I needed to do. So, I would say around 9 o'clock, before you wind down, put the phone down. You know what I mean? Set yourself up and maybe drink some tea and have a nice hot bath and shower and kind of decompress from the day leading into your actual rest. Because a lot of us sleep, but we don't rest.
That is true. Because I found myself like I think you and I talked about it offline at one point when I was saying I wasn't getting enough rest and I was trying to play catch up. And like I had to pretty much play catch up last weekend. Like I was just out. I just had to get all my sleep back together, and now I'm up running again. But I need to make sure I need to build in my breaks and actually get some sleep. So I'm actually scheduling my sleep to get a little better, and I do notice the energy difference now. So.
Yeah, and especially for us, like especially men, if we're not getting enough sleep, our testosterone levels drop severely. And then now you're suffering through, testosterone is a real big deal as far as having the energy and having, because it goes through all the way from your brain, all the way through your whole body, as far as just being active and upright and not slipping in any type of like low moments or depression. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a 3-way deal when it comes to your health and wellness. You know what I mean? It's not just how much you eat. It's not just how much you exercise. It's not how much you alleviate stress. It's all those things. I always say it's like it's 33.3% of the 100% spectrum when it comes to overall health.
So can you dive into that a little bit more?
Yeah. So oftentimes when people think of health, they think, all right, 50% diet, 50% exercise, or 70% this or 30% that. But I think people forget the mental aspect of it. Like we just talked about, the people that you're around, the stresses at your job, like all these different things that are around you that affect your health. I mean, one of the number one killers of us is stress. So, I have a trainer mentality. So like I'm training for a season. So when I work out, my mindset when I'm working out is that I'm battling against stress, or I'm working out to help me through depression, or I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody has their things. So exercising gives you those natural endorphins. But the thing is, you have to recognize what's bothering you and what ails you for you to actually pour into that other 33%. So it's an interesting dynamic, and I just, because I, just through my life, I started realizing that it didn't matter how much I did this or did that, I was still feeling a certain type of way. Therefore, my body was affected. So when I say 33.3%, it's that of exercise, that of diet, and then that of lifestyle, which returns it to the 100% of health.
So let's still dive in a little bit more about the lifestyle piece, because my show is all about habits, and having those habits of the apps that we have and the people that we have around us. So they said in at least one of the stats I was looking at was saying is that 50% of Americans have a fitness app on their phone, and the question is now, it's like, well, why aren't 50% of the Americans who have those apps on their phones are living a healthy lifestyle? Just thinking about the critical thinking side of the house. But, building out the goals and trying to do it cheaply, and a lot of people trying to find a fast track way of doing it. What are some of the things that people can do at home to kind of help start building out? I know you just said moving, but what some of the fitness activities that you think would be a good starter for a lot of people?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, well, one, if you're financially strapped to the point where you can't buy like dumbbells for yourself or any type of equipment, like even small apparatus equipment, you could just start with just body weight exercises. Like, the reason why, like for example, you can do all the movements mimicking that you have dumbbells and still get benefits from it because you're moving around. So there's a lot of home exercises out there if you want to look online or if you want to follow.
Give me one.
So my example is, so I would say, starting with, I use like water bottles. I'll use 2 water bottles, and I'll do like a bicep curl into
I got wine bottle.
Look at you. I see you, man. Look at you. And I'm not going to ask you what happened to the top.
Don't worry about that.
I've been there. It's cool, though. It's cool. I've been there. But, like, just like curling and pressing, doing chest presses, emphasizing using certain body parts. Man, look.
Okay.
Look. But you want to use 2, man, because you can't have one swole pec. I don't know if your wife would like that, man, but
all right.
You could
I'll alternate.
Yeah, alternate. There you go. you can pull, kick out, all that stuff.
Okay.
But it has to be empty though, Anthony, because if you might have to drink the rest of it at some point.
On Wednesday, I got you.
Right. No, but there's all types of home exercises that you can do if you want to, because especially with the pandemic, everybody started kind of working from home anyway, and there's a lot of things at home that you can do. But like it's your mental mindset, like, because the bed is very close to where you're trying to exercise. Mm-hmm. The couch is very close to where you're trying to exercise at home at. So it's definitely, oftentimes people just start out that way, but I always encourage people to get you a $10 membership at Planet Fitness. A monthly membership where you're getting up and going somewhere with intention of working out. But like if working out at home is your thing, that is cool. There's so many different workouts that you can do where you can get total body exercises in within a 25-minute time period. Mm-hmm.
So that goes back to what you were talking about earlier, which is your lifestyle, your environment, and the people that you keep around you. So if you have that designated spot for fitness only, you put on your fitness outfit to go work out in your fitness space. So don't work out in your work clothes. Like really change your clothes, get into that mindset and that lifestyle, and it helps out a lot easier, it seems.
Yeah, so that's intention, right? Like I'm going to buy new workout clothes, right? Because I want to use these clothes to work out. So it starts with that part. Then it's like, okay, it's time for me to work out. Let me, take a shower, put on my workout clothes, boom, do my workout, and then all right, now it's a matter of mindset and like you said, like a change in your lifestyle. Because we have to create new habits. You know what I'm saying? And those are they're gonna be hard to do because there's gonna be days you're just gonna be looking at the workout clothes like I don't even want to do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
But after you do it, you feel so much better, and that's what we're banking on. We're trying to hook you in with how you feel after you work out and all the natural endorphins that come from it. You know what it is, and what I've noticed with a lot of my clientele, it's more of the sense of finally doing something for themselves. Because like we alluded to earlier about how mothers are mothers and fathers are fathers, and you're taking care of your kids, or you're taking care of your significant other, or you're taking care of your parents, or whatever the case may be in life. There's something that you have to do, or even at your job, there's some responsibilities that you may have there. It leaves a small window of you actually working on yourself. And I think that's why we're kind of all in a tough situation as far as mentally as a whole, because we don't have enough time to actually pinpoint that. And like you said before, when you hold yourself accountable to your habits, that's when change starts to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a big on accountability. I always say accountability kills mediocrity. You know what I mean? There's no way that if you hold yourself accountable to your full potential and what your goals are, then you're going to shoot past mediocrity, because mediocrity is, basically being settled into wherever you're at. So that's what we try to push that narrative. It's like, even myself, we all have. So how I relate to my clients, I've recently given up, drinking alcohol. And what I did, you can always be in a position where, like, all right, I'm gonna just stay home and not be around anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I made the decision to stop doing that. But I was still going out and hanging out with my friends, but in that setting, creating a new habit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go out to the bar and watch the game, but I could order this and order that and still be amongst my friends and be able to create that new habit where it's like, okay, all right. So, and how I feel after I leave the bar without actually having a drink and still having a good time. Now you're realizing that you don't necessarily need that. And then that momentum carries you into the next day and into the next day. So it's like, that's how when I talk to my clients about physical fitness and changing their habits as far as that's concerned, I always relate back to that to make sure there's some type of empathy and understanding. Because if it was just based on working out and exercise, I've been doing it all my life. Like we talked about, be like, yeah, man. Well, if you don't exercise and work out and work on yourself, you're gonna die, right? You can't, you can't just. That's the facts. But
Yeah.
but not everybody receives it that way. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people that have there's so many underlying issues of why people can't necessarily be disciplined or committed to themselves.
Yeah. That is a lot right there, because
Yeah.
but it takes us back to ultimately why are we doing this in the beginning? Why did you even start working out? Why did you start your budget? Why did you ultimately continue to listen to this show? Because one of those things that I like about the interviews and interactions that I have with everybody is understanding that no matter where you at, you got to start somewhere. You got to change that mindset that you can actually do this. And one of those things that I want to bring this back to the fitness side of the house, which is where you talked about drinking water. We don't do that enough. And one of the things that I do is ask myself today, I always ask myself before I go to bed, I was like, did I have anything green today?
Right.
Did I drink any water today? And those are the two questions I always ask myself before I go to bed. Are there questions that you ask yourself or you ask your clients to do before they go to bed?
Well, I think you hit on one of them is definitely the water intake. Water intake is I tell people like in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you have those 2 glasses of water ready, right?
Hmm.
Because your body is dehydrated when you wake up in the morning. Drink those 2 glasses because, like I said, we talked about, people struggle with drinking water on a regular basis. So now you have to create those new habits. So if you didn't do it in the morning, at least do it in the, say do it in the evening, or do it, try to drink 2 cups of water morning, afternoon, and then probably with another meal, you know what I mean, and during dinner. So water is I think the main thing for me as far as, and then if we're doing the diet when it comes to, have I had anything raw? Did I eat some fruit? Did I have this? Did I make a smoothie? Did I do something that I didn't? Did I eat something that I didn't necessarily have to cook?
Right. What is a good shopping or grocery run that like people should make sure that they pick up when they go to the grocery store?
Well, yeah. So like when I go to the grocery store, one of the main things I try to break them down into meals, right? So for
Hmm.
breakfast, if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have some, if I'm gonna have some eggs, if you eat eggs, if you're eating eggs, we want to make sure there's a vegetable with it that you're cooking it with, right? So this is just how my mind thinks. This is how I get my vegetable intake. And then I want to make sure I have an avocado, you know what I mean? Because you want to make sure you're having fats, the good fats on a regular basis. You want to have that with every meal. So how my mind works is breakfast, eggs, some sort of vegetable, like, spinach, onions, peppers, or whatever, with the avocado and a fruit. And then I'm doing the same thing with lunch. As far as lunch, if I'm having a salad, okay, let me make sure I buy, maybe some spinach, some kale, and then those same vegetables that we're eating with breakfast, we could cut up some more, and then add some other things to it. Like, just be intentional on the specific meals that you're having. And then for dinner, if I want to get some stuff, that I make sure I'm having a carb, protein, and a fat with all my meals. And with what I do to keep it simple, I'm gonna make sure I'm eating some type of vegetable with each meal.
Hmm.
So if I get some broccoli, have some rice, and then I have a main protein source. Um, Again, with something raw, it could be some grapefruit. We can have some berries. You know what I mean? You want to create the 3-course meal dynamic where you get to the point where maybe the fruit in your meal is your dessert, and then that will continue to fill you up.
Nice. Because my dessert is usually an apple pie or.
You're close. You're almost there.
Right, I'm
You're
almost there. Yeah.
You're almost there. We got apple pie. Let's remove the pie part and all that, and then you're good. I
Right.
tell you, I kid you not. When I eat my oatmeal, so I have oatmeal. I'll put a little bit of like, I put with some protein, apples, peanut butter, a little bit of honey or whatever, right? And it tastes like a taffy apple, man.
Hmm.
I know y'all out here don't believe me, man. Try it. I know y'all don't believe me out here because I had my son have some of that. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this is good, whatever, you know what I mean? And he's 7, so he doesn't like anything. So the fact that he would eat that, I'm like, okay, cool. But with even in that meal itself, you have your fats in your peanut butter, you have your proteins in the protein powder, and then you have your carbs with the oatmeal and the actual apple. And then you get if you're eating that in the beginning of the day with whatever simple sweets that you put in there, that will be the energy source. But it's not like you have to go to do this blandless, tasteless lifestyle to lose weight, or what I mean, to be healthy.
Yeah. There's just bring this back a little bit, to bring this back home a little bit. Does your parents actually listen to you now that you've been doing this? Because I know it took me a while for my mom to switch her diet. It wasn't like I actually went to my mom's house, saw a refrigerator. I was like, this is a mess. I threw everything away. I was like, Mom, we going shopping. I bought $200 worth of groceries that day. And since then, that's what helped change her diet and her habits about shopping and going to the grocery store.
Yeah. So my mother, it's not the diet aspect of it, because so we're of Haitian descent, so we cook our foods. We have this lot of vegetables. Everything is stewed and this and that. So most of the meals are pretty much healthy.
Okay.
The problem is the physical activity part of it. So my thing is, like, when I talk to my mother and try to get her to be more physically active, one day I went there. I was like, man, okay, I'm gonna train you. I'm just, and I think within the next 5 minutes, she was ready for me to go home. She was like, hey, you know what, man? I appreciate your knowledge. I will do this while you're gone. I don't want you sitting in my face. We were walking on the treadmill, and I'm like, okay, let's grab these dumbbells. Let's add the dumbbells to it. Let's walk. And she was like, so I'm walking with dumbbells. I feel silly. I think it's time for you to leave. Because we have that type of relationship.
Right.
So when it comes, like, that's my thing. I think she listens and she does understand that. But again, you have to realize that. Like, they could listen to you for the moment and then be like, man, do I really feel like doing it when it's time to do it? So that's a trick question. There's a lot in there, and when my father, when I used to talk to him about drinking water, so then these are the things that can motivate people. I see my father be very physically active, but he didn't drink enough water, so he got dehydrated a lot. So he drank a lot of pop and, a lot of sugars, which accelerates a lot of the stuff, a lot of these conditions that people have. It accelerated to the point where they can't bounce back from. And I used to always bring cases of water, like drink more water, but he just couldn't do it, And oftentimes, so it got to the point where it got really bad, and some of the his conditions caught up to him, and he eventually passed away. So so those are the things that I remember when it comes to, like, we talked about remembering to drink my water, or remember to do this, because you see people not do some of the things that you want them to do, what's healthy for them, and you see what happens to them. So it's definitely tough to get them on board.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that it's a battle with the parents, because I guess they look at us like the diaper mentality. Yes. Like, where'd you learn this from? Like, why you believe in these people? And it's all the time.
It's all the time. But like with fitness though, and like for example, when COVID hit, and so from my understanding, with some COVID conditions, what was happening to people, that the mucus, there's a mucus buildup, and then it hardens to the point where you may not be able to breathe or not, or mucus hardens to the point where it starts to affect your body. So I used to tell my mother, like, to cut down on the dairy. Like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be eating dairy. You're older, and this is going around. It might be a combination, because you're already eating and drinking all that mucus that's in your body, and then eventually that may be, she's like, well, where did you hear this from?
Yep.
So I say, well, I already know about it, what I mean, as far as what mucus does to your body. But then if I'm hearing, people or experts say that if there's a mucus buildup and it hardens and this may happen, then you just put two and two together. I don't have to necessarily hear this from Dr. Fauci on CNN for me to relay this message back to you. Like, I'm telling you because I know these things. You know what I mean? I know what certain foods do to your body. So but it's hard to get into. They just don't see you as that. You know what I mean? Like, they have to wait till the doctor tells them to do it.
It's like, but you're already as a certified trainer telling them, but it's not the same.
Because I'm her son. I was the guy who, I used to get on her nerves.
Right.
Now it's, you're a fitness professional for 23 years. I still have to listen to you.
Right.
You got. I mean, come on. It's for your health. So
yeah.
it's a battle, but I still like get on my mom about certain things, and also it's leading by example too.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they see that and they're more likely to follow suit.
That's what I'm doing as well with my mom, is showing her like different books that I'm reading, and now she's starting to read the different books. Like she just got the book Never Split the Difference. She was like, I never heard about it. I was like, well, now you got it. So
Yeah, here you go.
yeah.
Just right.
Go ahead.
No, I was just like, yeah, they're like, wow, yeah, I have never seen this on TV, or I've never seen this on. They never told us about this at my job. Yeah, man, because there's a reason why people are not telling you these things. They want you to be financially strapped for a long period of time and have to rely on certain businesses to take care of you, and they want you to get you to the point where you have to take pharmaceutical medications for the rest of your life so they can continue to bill you. You know what I'm saying? That's the fitness field, like even insurance companies as a whole, they're not paying for you to go to a nutritionalist. They're not paying you to go to a trainer because that's too proactive.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to pay for you once you have some of the ailing issues, and then all they're going to do is prescribe you medication that will, whatever, numb it for a little bit, so you can keep on going.
And actually, some of the HMOs will pay for your nutritional thing, but it's not a mandatory thing. So they'll pay for it. Your PPOs more than likely won't, because you can go to anybody. But your HMOs will take care of you as far as that aspect. You just got to ask for it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's I think oftentimes, like when you go to like open enrollments at your job or whatever, no one's telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like, if you don't have that knowledge that you can do that, then it's like, oh, okay. Just like there's some HMOs and PPOs that will allow you to get, go to a therapist. You know, if you're having stressful anxiety and having those issues, then you could go to, you could do that. And no one really knows it until someone's expressing that they're having issues, and they're like, oh yeah, that's right. You can just call this hotline, and then, we set it all up. That's supposed to be in your orientation.
Yep.
Hey, look, this is what you can do here, and then this you can have, So it's just interesting, they'll do stuff that could be beneficial, but they're not gonna let you know. Some people will know, some people won't.
Right. I know we pretty much need to come back on to talk about savings on being fit and understanding the difference between the drip viruses and the other ailments that can save you by being fit. So yeah, I would like to have you back on to talk about that.
Yeah, we will talk about that for sure.
Awesome.
And then also diet, like going to the grocery store, you're going to save a lot more money than obviously eating out every time.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like I went to McDonald's the other day, to give my son some stuff, like whatever, some nuggets. And if you pay attention and look at the pricing,
same price.
It's like $10, $11 for some stuff that's not even. It doesn't even fill you up. It's for the moment, and you could probably get, 2 or 3 meals out of that price tag if you just prepare your own food.
Easily.
So you're saving money in that regards, but people pay for convenience. But if you just prepare for convenience by meal prepping, when you're hungry, it's in the refrigerator. You just pull it out and reheat it or whatever. And now you're good. You're saving money and you have the convenience element.
Isn't that like they say, prepare for the winter when it's warm? Like,
right. Like, yeah, it's right. Right. Just like the little willows of the ants, you know what I'm saying? They always, all the shows that we used to watch where they're preparing for the winter, and everybody's looking like, well, why are they saving their food right now? It's growing, everything is cool. And then next thing you know, it's the winter time and they try to look for food while the ants already got everything stored.
Yep.
You got to prepare for, you got to make it self-proof. You know what I mean? Like, man, if I'm hungry, like my mother used to always tell me, if you're hungry, you're going to eat what's in front of you. Right. So if I'm hungry, she slided me some, some stewed food or whatever that's healthy and nutrition, you're going to eat it. You know what I mean? So if you're preparing your own meals that you want, because you're making them, so you want them, and then you're like, okay, boom, I'm hungry. Okay, that's right, I got that. Let me just go get it, heat it up. I'm good. Because then that so actually going to the fast food places would be actually more inconvenient than what you have at home.
That's
It's
true.
just like changing the habits. It's just changing those habits.
Yeah, we about to get into a whole nother topic.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hey, man, I can come back on, man, and
All
definitely
right.
talk about some more stuff because it's so many
So
things when
many.
it comes to health. It's not just, man, I eat too much or I'm not
Mhm.
that active. Why are you not eating the right foods? More than likely, you seek some type of comfort in these foods. It could stem all the way from your childhood. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Why am I not physically active? Why do I feel a certain way when I go to the gym and I have to compare myself to somebody that's obviously been going to the gym? Why does my mind automatically go there as opposed to just focusing on yourself and just being a better Stefan, a 1% better Stefan than I was yesterday?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think when people start to really, and that's part of the social media aspect. We're always searching and scrolling, and we see all these Instagram models and all these people that are kind of living kind of a fake lifestyle, and then we're constantly comparing ourselves to them to the point where we don't want to do anything, or we feel like we can't measure up.
Yeah. Uh, I was like, we gotta get the show going. So, all right. I'm gonna do this. The third segment, and then we got the final four questions.
All right, let's go.
So the third segment, which is the features, what skills or habits do you feel that you need to take yourself to the next level?
Skills or habits that you need to.
Like you personally, yeah.
Oh, well, for me, I feel like I just need to do more of these, podcasts and talk more about it. Cause I like to talk about stuff like this, but I never get an opportunity. I don't get many opportunities to. So I just want to be able to talk more and more about it. Cause I feel like I have a lot of things to say when it comes to the underbelly of what's really the issues when it comes to people not getting to their goals.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know, just trying to build more of a social media following because I'm trying to get more, trying to create posts to uplift people in 30 seconds or less. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to create that platform and create more consistent content for people. And then, as far as business is concerned, my personal business, as far as me as a trainer, is pretty good. But I'm a gym owner as well, so we're trying to get more trainers, more variations of classes, more things going at Iron Bear Fitness. And then that's one of my main things that I'm trying to do as far as growing.
Awesome. All right. So you ready for the final four questions?
Man, I think so.
All right.
I won't be too long-winded.
No, you got it. All right. So question number one: what does wealth mean to you?
Peace. So wealth for me is being at obviously financially free to the point where it just creates peace, a peace of mind. Knowing that my kids are taken care of creates peace of mind. I'm just big on inner wellness. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm financially doing the things I need to do, there's nothing better than making sure you all your bills are paid, everything's paid off, things are cool. Now that alleviates that stress, which leads to peace.
Like it. Number two: what was your worst money mistake?
My worst money mistake. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. I think my worst money mistake was when I was starting off as a trainer. You come into these fads like, oh yeah, there's this new drink out,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what all you have to do is invest here. You invest some money here, and then it turned into a pyramid scheme. And then I'm out here, telling people that this works. And even though I wasn't really so sure about the product, you know what I mean? So I think I invested a lot of money into it, and then it just obviously just went to crap. So that was my first major money mistake.
How much are we talking? A lot of money.
Well, at the time I was like 20 years old, so it was like 2,500.
Ooh, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, man. I'm like, you know what, man? Go hard or go home, right. Man. Invest ourselves. I believe in this, and it was like, no bro. So, hey, man, it happens, man. You know, we always try different things, and we make those mistakes when we're on our own.
All right, number 3. What is your favorite financial or non-financial book?
You know what? I'm actually reading a book now. It's the $100 Million Deal. How to make $100 Million deal. The book is basically about investing and creating programs that will allow to see your value, right? Oftentimes we create a service, but we don't attach the value to it because we don't know if we should be charging this amount or that amount. So it's like it kind of goes step by step of a specific person's journey on how he invested in himself, and then now he's in a position where he's a multimillionaire. So that I like that book because it kind of how it breaks it down, and it's just like your own mindset, like how you feel about yourself. It's like, hey man, look, you're good at what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're not doing someone a favor. You provide a service that they want, so you should be able to, charge what you know you're worth, not what you think they can afford.
Yeah, like those $70 candles at Nordstrom. Yeah,
people buy them.
I think it was like a $700 candle. Something ridiculous.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
That's like literally burning your money. Literally. You're burning your money. The candle better be like, bring back my ancestors. Like, what? I mean, something has to happen that's of relevance. At least make it think I am. I don't know if it's good. Put have some psychedelic in there that make you at least think that's what I'm doing, right? I mean, what's going on here?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they play some music for you too. Yeah. Well. All right, number 4 question. What is your favorite dish to make?
My favorite dish to make, it's a Haitian dish. It's called soup jumu.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a squash-based soup. That's basically everything is thrown in there from different type of meats, potatoes, pastas. The reason why I like making the soup is because it represents the Haitians, they kind of becoming the first Black Republic, and what they do every New Year's, they make this soup to represent that. It was a soup that they were making, they used to make for their slave masters, and then eventually when they basically eliminated all of them, they started making them for themselves as a form of representing that day. It is not easy to make. It takes a lot of effort, and my mother used to make it like that, but when I do it, it's like she's like the official tester.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you used the wrong squash, or whatever. So she tries to help me through it. But one time I made it, and I was like, man, this is good. I think I got it. So I brought it over there, and she was cooking some at the time. She tasted it, and she just dumped my bowl into her pot and was like, you almost got it.
It's like right there.
Yeah, it's right there. But she just poured the rest of what she was making. So that's something that I'm trying to master. But that's like, I would say, one of my favorite dishes to make. Also, for the not as difficult meals, I like to make this. It's like a honey spicy chicken, where I basically, obviously you cook the chicken first, but I make the marinade with sriracha sauce, a little bit of soy sauce, and honey.
Okay.
Stir it up or whatever. And it pour it over the chicken and then recook it again, obviously over the stove. It comes out really good. There's not a lot of it's not a lot of calories, and I like to make that with a bed of either rice, potatoes, and with a vegetable side.
Nice. Gotta have that fruit, that raw fruit or vegetable. Nice.
You gotta do that. It's baby steps. I tell my clients baby steps. I'm not gonna tell you to start eating rice cakes with peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either. There's other ways.
Right. All right. So the last question is, where could people find out more about you?
Well, yeah, you guys could, you guys could check out my Instagram page, which is NLS Athletic _Chicago, NLS Athletic _Chicago. And also on my TikTok, it's NLS Athletic Chicago. So you'll be able to just start typing that in, you'll find me. And you can also reach out on my fitness page on Facebook, which is NLS Athletic. And if you guys can, check out my website, nlsathletic.com. We offer, online coaching. We offer a series of classes at on the north side of Chicago at Iron Bear Fitness Chicago. We do one-on-one training. We do group sessions. We do a number of different things. And like I said, I also have a fitness app as well, NLS Athletic. The fitness app, so you can look that up too. I usually attach that with my online coaching, so I could be right there with you through the whole process. So, yeah, man, you guys reach out to me, follow, like all the stuff, and you can reach out to me because I answer back like immediately because I'm kind of a nerd with the stuff. So whatever questions you guys have, I'm usually on point and on top of that.
Nice. And Stephan, it's been amazing chat.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. We're gonna do this again, man, because I like to talk, man.
Yeah, might have to do one of the live sessions.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. I know it's on Wednesdays. Yeah. I think I'm gonna try to work something out because I usually have classes on Wednesday nights, but I think I'm gonna work something out because I think there's some stuff like there's gonna be some time next month where I can move some stuff around because that'd be dope.
Yeah, just let me know. We'll work it out and catch y'all then. All right, everybody, make sure that you guys check out his show. Check out everything that he's doing on Instagram, directly on his page. Show him all the love. And if you got anything out of this particular episode, make sure that you share this with somebody. Make sure you share this with somebody that you love, that you care for, because they might need that habit. They might need that awakening to start changing their eating habits, start changing their lifestyles. And they might need to have some new friends. I mean,
yeah,
you never know. So
it's a season.
It is a season.
It's a season. Transition.
All right, everybody. Y'all be safe. I'm out.
All right, guys. Y'all take care.